Okay, guys, today is Mercury Day, Wednesday. We're going to use Mercury to help with clarifications regarding the Baphomet. This is my take two. My first one I made, I kind of made a mistake. I said Sag instead of Capricorn. You'll have to forgive me. I am human. I am subject to human error. So I'm making this video again. Plus there was some stuff I missed out and I want to put in. So I erased my video and I'm going to make this new one. So hold tight just a second. Let me flip this around. Okay, so I was talking about the Baphomet and where it comes from, and it does come from the zodiac wheel. It's the story of Capricorn, okay? And if you notice, Capricorn has the word cap in it, which the cap is at the top, okay? And the icorn is pertaining to the unicorn part of the story, because Capricorn is the story of the crocodile and the unicorn and the goat all in one. It's the multi-layered story of Capricorn over here, okay, which is ruled by Saturn. Capricorn is Saturn also. Okay, and so the story goes, you got a goat here, and then you got a goat up here. Okay, now this story of the goat, it also runs parallel to the story of the ram. Okay, because they meet here, and then they both kind of wrestle to get to the top. But when I did my last video talking about this being the head of gold, right? And you've got your split stories. You've got the one on the right and the one on the left. Well, this is the goat. This is the lamb on the right. Okay. And then this is the goat on the left. So the goat, you need to understand, all of these are pertaining to the hero's journey. The sun passes through every single sign, and so do you. So you may not be a Capricorn or an Aquarius or any kind of sign over here. You may be over here, but you still need to understand these. All the signs apply to you because all the stories are applying to the same hero. Okay. So yes, Capricorn ruled by Saturn, and here's the story. He swims because he's the fish first, which is a crocodile, half fish, half goat. Okay, and he's considered to be the crocodile, which is a reptile. So we get our reptilian Satan connection with the goat. Okay, and at the same time, you need to understand it's all in how you view it. The goat is not bad, you guys, because the goat, he swims up here through the waters, right? And then he gets up to Pisces and there's a split. And the goat loses his half of his reptilian side, right? Because he's progressing further up into the light that's at the top. And he loses that and he becomes further at this point as the goat. Okay, and so the goat and the ram, they kind of have stories that go side by side with each other, right? But we're not going to touch on the lamb story. We're continuing with the goat. So the goat, he continues to go up the mountain. He's got his two horns, and he gets up here, and there literally is a little goat up here called Capella. It's up here near the Twins, south, okay? And you need to understand it's pertaining to the same story, these two little goats. It's literally trying to show you the progression of the story. And you get up here in Gemini, and the little goat, he splits off again because Gemini is also another division of the mortal and the immortal. And the goat further loses his two horns, and they merge and become one. Okay, and then he becomes the unicorn at the top of the wheel. Okay, and so that's where Capricorn and Unicorn come into play on the wheel. Okay, so this is concerning where they got the idea for the story of the Baphomet. Now I'm going to show where the name comes from. Okay, the name Baphomet is a value of 80. Okay, the French word, and this is why it's good to study multiple languages when it comes to deciphering. The French word for Baphomet is Mahomet. Technically, they get Mahomet from Muhammad, right? And then from Muhammad, they get Baphomet. Okay, and you need to understand, Muhammad and Abraham, they have something in common with Baphomet, and that's the ham. H-A-M. And the ham is important because it's pertaining to the pig and the ham radio. CB codes. Okay, so Muhammad is 74, Abraham is 44. Muhammad and Jesus run parallel in the story, okay, because they're both of the same value. They both have the same value, okay? Same house, 7 and 4, right? And then energy is 74. And then you get your beast, which is 47. Now, these numbers, you need to understand, when you bring everything into numerical value, it obliterates all the fear. All the fear is gone when you start talking numbers, right? Because you're not afraid of numbers. And so when it comes to these values, you need to take into consideration the mirror, okay? The flip side. Okay, this is concerning the flip scripts. So this is where the Baphomet comes from, right? And they further put the Baphomet inside the 5-pointed star, which is where you get your pentagram. Okay, and then you can also see that they've taken the Baphomet and they've even put them in the 8-pointed Star of David. Right? Now, the Baphomet is also concerning the unicursal hexagram. Okay, and I don't even want to try to draw it because it's hard for me to draw. I might try. Don't laugh. It goes like this, and 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 like this. Okay, so I did a pretty good job, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. Okay. So this is where the story of the Baphomet comes from. And when you start deciphering stuff like this, you'll see how they take pieces and parts and they put it together and they create a story, right? And then they create the image. Okay, and so also with the Baphomet, he is supposedly both male and female, right? Okay, well, you need to understand, other cultures have the same calendars. This is a calendar, okay? And so they have stories of their own that they have created in their culture regarding this calendar. So in some stories, Capricorn, the goatfish, is a female. Okay, and they take the female association and they apply it to Saturn. Hashatan being female. Okay, so there's your dualities there, the multiple stories. So literally, we've used the wheel once again to decipher another mystery about the Baphomet and where it comes from. And now you can take this information and you can possibly see, you know, what other creators are doing and where they're getting their blueprint, because this literally is a blueprint. Okay, so it's good to study.